everybody. Hope everybody's having a great day so far. What day is this? This is Saturday. Today, I just got done doing my interval cardio, which I do every Saturday for about 20 minutes, moderately. It's part of my protocol that I do every week. I do it 3 days a week. I also combine it with doing my ab exercises. But I don't go crazy on my cardio because obviously, why? Because I don't need to. And furthermore, I don't want to overtrain because I'm 40 plus, actually 60 plus. So I'm looking to keep adding lean muscle. But I also want to have good heart health. So that's why I'm saying we do it moderately. But we don't want to overtrain, because by overtraining, you're going to cause a lot of stress to the body, which is going to throw us out of fat adaptation, which you guys follow me know what that all means. So guys, before I get started, I'll pause for a second. You guys, if you want to look at some of my videos, go to my YouTube channel, type in Bill Mabry, subscribe to it. You're going to have a bunch of different videos on there on different health topics. Also, will be some videos that will help you understand what I'm going to talk about today, the topic today. And the topic today is something that is, I hear it all the time. Especially those of you that follow me, you guys know that Emily and I have 4 very powerful protocols that we combine. And that is mainly for fat adaptation, or actually put your body in fat burning mode. Not only in fat burning mode, but it also is going to put your body in a huge, multiple health benefits, from actual producing new stem cells to actually producing new muscle stem cells to increase muscle mass, especially those of you that are 40 over. Anti-aging for those of you who are 40 over. So you guys know that we have these protocols. Well, I got my little cheat sheet here so I don't go overboard on my explanation on the topic. But the topic is why do most of you fail when on a diet? And you know what? This is the public, and it's sad because all diets that are considered diets, you will fail. Those of you that have been doing the Western diet for different ones over and over again know that that's true, that most of you have failed, and most of you are going to fail if you're following a Western diet. And there's a lot of reasons for it. And that's why Emily and I are coming out of retirement, and we are going to start up our one-on-one personal coaching at a gym locally in the Marietta-Temecula Valley area. Because of the knowledge that we have now, we feel we don't want to be selfish anymore. We want to spread it. Now you got to realize that Emily and I have been in the health and nutrition industry for over 40 years. We've both been involved in rehabbing athletes. We've both been on stage. We've gone through the 12-week diet down to get ready to go on stage, which is the worst thing you could put your body through. It is the most unhealthiest diet. And if you go online and Google metabolic damage with physique competition girls, you'll understand why that diet is very dangerous to the body. And by doing too many at a time, you are going to cause metabolic damage, especially you women out there. The other issue is that dehydration when you're competing at the last week of it. A lot of bodybuilders, which they don't publicize, have actually died, some on stage, some in the staging area, of dehydration. Because when your body is dehydrated of water and your heart gets to a certain point, it's going to give up and there's no turning back, you die. So Emily and I have got a lot of knowledge in this. We've worked with thousands of clients for different issues, obesity, menopause, in menopause or out of menopause, or why your belly fat's not going on, why you can't get your belly fat off because you're post-menopause. We've specializing with people that are type 2 diabetes. We even worked with type 1 diabetics to help them lose the body fat and get their blood sugars down to normal because they're on insulin or metformin, and getting them, get the type 2s off that crap. We've also helped people, for myself, I had cancer, so I actually did it with food. I fought it with food and plant-based. And so we've been through all that stuff. We've worked with a lot of people for different medical issues. Now, right off the bat, this is my disclaimer. I'm not a doctor. Okay, guys? I'm not prescribing anything. Who we are is we are educators of health. And that's our primary goal, is to educate the uneducated population out there, because doctors aren't doing it. Most health professionals aren't doing it because they're not educated. And they're not following the new scientific research which actually works, which lifestyle for losing that weight or losing body fat or educating you on the root cause. Most health professionals just aren't doing it. And so this is why most of you are going to fail. And even those, and this is where I get a little upset, especially with that documentary out there on the Game Changer diet, because they actually threw our lifestyle under the bus with some false research, because somebody doesn't know how to read it, and plus they didn't finish the whole story. And so science has been telling us for a long time that these 4 protocols that Emily and I use for our clients are actually all science-backed, and they've been around for decades, centuries actually. But you don't know about it. And the problem is now what's happening is people, doctors and health professionals, are seeing the results because of 2 things. Number 1, blood tests don't lie. Number 2, the doctors and health professionals are now jumping on board and now seeing the health benefits, not just the weight loss, not just the body fat loss, but they're also seeing the other benefits from it. And that's why Emily and I took these 4 protocols, combined them, because now we're at the next level. Okay? But the problem is a lot of you guys are so uneducated, or you've been misinformed by your health professional or your doctor or your trainer, because they don't understand it either. Most of them have no education in molecular hydrogen. Most of them have no education in cellular biology, or how food and water affects the body at the cellular level, and most of them don't understand, and a lot of them don't understand the imbalance of hormones, which is the root cause of why you guys are failing, and why you have the cravings of the sugars and the cravings of starchy carbohydrates, because you don't understand that there are protocols. Now, this is my new flyer that I'm passing out, and if you notice on here, I don't know if you can see it or not, it says weight loss made easy. It's probably backwards on there, but that's okay. It says weight loss made easy. So, of course, that statement is kind of contradictory to what I'm saying, because I'm probably confusing some of you guys. But actually, you guys, weight loss is made easy when you're educated on the root cause of why you have that belly fat or hip fat, or why you have, why you're obese, or why you have type 2 diabetes. If you're educated on the root cause and shown the science behind how to reverse it, or how to control the hormones, see, that's the root cause. I don't care. You guys can do all the exercising you want. You can do all the cardio that you want. Unless you change your lifestyle, I'm not calling it a diet, unless you change your lifestyle and the way you're eating, the time you're eating, and then combining it with drinking the most powerful antioxidant, or water, hydrogen-rich water, which is going to cause your body, or the water actually helps to flush out inflammation, which is the cause of many issues as far as disease models. And then by doing this lifestyle and continuing it with it and be consistent, your body is going to completely reverse from whatever issues you have, you guys. And science is backing all this up. And so, between you and your personal coach, this is what's going to cause you to fail. Like I said, it's education on the root cause of why you're overweight, or why you have belly fat or body fat, or why it's so hard to come off. Yes, it is easy once you understand the root cause, and that's why I put on my flyer, that's why my company name is Weight Loss Made Easy. The time you're done with us, you will see what that means. But what we do is we're going to educate you. Between you and your personal coach, you guys got to come up with a protocol or a lifestyle that is actually going to be able to, that you're able to do with your lifestyle. And you got to have to understand that you need to be put into what they call fat adaptation. You got to understand what that means. And that means that your body is basically in a fat burning mode 24/7. Now, by finding the protocols that fit your lifestyle, by doing our 4 protocols, which are primal eating, which you guys know as a ketogenic diet, intermittent and prolonged fasting, hydrating with hydrogen-rich water, and exercising. You don't need to go crazy on it, 2 to 3 days a week, moderately. All 4 of these protocols are backed by science, showing that they will put your body into fat adaptation or fat burning mode by changing your body from burning glucose or carbohydrate as its main source of fuel to burning your own body fat. Does that make sense? Wouldn't you rather be burning your own body fat 24/7? Yeah, that's how you're going to lose the weight. That's why people that follow these lifestyles lose the body fat. But put that aside. The others, what science is also saying is this puts your body into an environment where you're actually producing new stem cells. What's that going to do? That's going to anti-age. And for those of you that are exercising, that are older, that want to put on lean muscle, lose the body fat, you're going to elevate your testosterone level and your growth hormones without spending thousands of dollars. So most of you that may be looking into primal eating or a ketogenic diet or intermittent prolonged fasting and the exercise and stuff, you guys are probably confused, because if you Google it and you go on the internet or you look at all the books, there's a ton of books out there. There's a ton of information about it. And and if you read them all, you know what, guys? They still do not give you the whole story, and they leave out a lot of important parts that you need to understand when you're going on the fat burning meal plans. I'm not calling it a diet, because once you get educated and once you get fat adapted, rooted, you won't have the cravings of the starchy foods. You won't have the craving of the sugar. Matter of fact, food will never again rule your life. Sometimes you have to be careful, because what happens? Well, you forget to eat because you're so used to burning your own body fat as fuel. Your body has the fuel there. So you guys don't realize you have a lot of fuel sitting in your body that you're not even using because you're eating way too many carbs. Now, yeah, there's these other meal plans. You got your paleo diet, you got your Mediterranean diet, you got your low carb diet. But the problem is that these diets, the carbohydrates are a little too high. And so because those carbohydrates are high, the ones they call low carbs, they're still too high. They let you eat a lot more fruit, a lot more starchy foods, or a lot more of the low glycemic starchy foods. The problem is that you're not putting your body into a environment that you're actually going to be in an environment called autophagy, which is known by science to be one of the to be able to burn the body fat 24/7, but also be able to produce brand new stem cells. Those of you that are post-cancer, that went through chemo and radiation, autophagy is brutal, is important. And so what I did here, guys, is on our 4 protocols, I just threw in some science stuff that I have. I'll read them to you real quick, and then this video will be over. But what I did is I wanted to show you that there's real science. Now, this isn't blog post science. This isn't crap off of Google. This is actually from Google Scholar. This is actually from the universities. This is actually from the research sites. So this is real stuff. And so I'm just going to give you a couple of them, guys. So here's let me see. Well, okay, here we go. Okay, so the Journal of Clinical Investigation Growth Hormones for men and women. Now, this is where I'm talking about that you can actually, by doing these 4 protocols, you're going to be able to actually produce your own growth hormones for what? Anti-aging and adding lean muscle. And you're going to be able to do it naturally without investing in a bunch of money to get shots. Now, supplements don't work. The supplements that say, oh yeah, no, that's going to tear up your body. That's going to affect your body in long term. Supplements, if you're taking them, get off of them. Okay? These 4 protocols will actually help you elevate your own natural growth hormones. Okay, and what the Journal of Clinical Investigation of Growth Hormone is saying, that men, when they're doing the intermittent or prolonged fasting or the ketogenic diet, they are going to increase their growth hormones by 2,000%. Women are going to increase their growth hormones by 1,300%, which is huge. That's just one research. The journal, and I have a hard time saying some of these medical words or these words, so I'm going to just try my best here. The Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism. They also did a lot of research on real people on growth hormones. Okay, so let's go with USC. Remember what I said about autophagy? Well, USC Medical Center here in California, which some of you guys know as University of Southern California. They did a research on a 72-hour fast with a group of people, and found that when their bodies entered into autophagy, which it takes over 24 hours of no calories to do that, but when their bodies went into autophagy, they actually produced new stem cells along with new muscle stem cells. So this is not me saying it. This is SC. PubMed, this is another one. Okay, this is for women and guys. Now, I'm going back to what I'm saying. When you understand the root cause of why that belly fat and body fat is staying on there, or why you're gaining belly fat after 40, or you're having a really hard time getting it off, there's hormonal root causes to it, and you have to be taught and understand how to reverse or increase the hormones that's going to help you to burn that body fat off 24/7, and to shut down the cravings of sugar and starchy foods. Well, PubMed has a research on there where they found that all 4 of these protocols, the primal, eating, ketogenic, and the intermittent and prolonged fasting, actually increased men's testosterone level along with women. Those of you that are 40 over, this is very important, because as you get older, those hormones drop. Okay, that's one big reason why men, your testosterone gets down to 200 or less. You're putting on belly fat. You're not gonna be able to lose it unless you get those hormones under control. The worst, the top hormone, the one that's causing all the issues out there, is the hormone insulin. It's out of control. It's causing insulin-resistant obesity, type 2 diabetes. Another thing you have to understand, those of you that are overweight by 20 pounds or more, you got a fatty liver. You have to understand how to reverse that. You're not going to lose weight until you reverse the fatty liver first. That's got to be reversed. That's another issue you guys have, okay? Now, you have doctors, like I said, there's a lot of new research coming out right now. And you have doctors that are actually jumping on board because what they've, for example, Dr. Jason Fung, he admits at his webinars, seminars, he was treating his obesity and type 2 diabetes patients wrong for 20 years. He is probably, I would say, the top one of the people out there that are educating doctors now, because he's got over 10 years of his own research, besides what science has already done, of reversing type 2 diabetes and obesity by doing it with food, by changing their lifestyle. You know, by changing their bodies from burning glucose or carbs to burning their own body fat. Well, the only way you can do that is you got to stop eating the high carbs. You got to stop. Some people say, well, I'm doing 50 grams of carbs or 80 grams of carbs a day. If you really look at it, you're probably doing 200 to 300 grams of carbs. That's causing you guys to be add body fat. That causes the number one hormone that's causing the issue with obesity, insulin, to be elevated too high for too long. Body is just dumping the excess glucose into the blood, then it's storing it as fat. That's what's happening, guys. And that's where our 4 protocols will control all the hormones that are causing the issues. There's I remember what I talked about myself. I did have an issue with cancer. Well, there's a doctor at Boston College that has been doing research. He is a cancer researcher, and he found out that on his patients that have a brain tumor cancer, that by doing the intermittent fasting and the primal eating or ketogenic diet, it actually starved the cancer cells. The tumor shrank. Now his research was done in a controlled environment, so he could measure the tumors as they dropped, and now he is out there educating other cancer doctors about how they can control the food that is causing that is feeding the cancer, how to actually starve the cancer cells by cutting the food source off. And that's by a very low carbohydrate diet. And what I mean by low, I mean it has to be like 5% or less. Now, those of you that are post-cancer, like myself, or those of you that have cancer, you guys need to be at 20 grams or less in order to keep that cancer under control, because chemotherapy will not kill cancer cells ever. Now, if you have had it and you've done the chemo and they say you're cancer free, they're lying to you. All you got to do is research cancer stem cells, and those poisons cannot do that. And so that's just a few of the research that I have that shows these 4 protocols actually work. So why should you take the time and the expense to hire a personal coach that is experienced in these 4 protocols? Because after 60 days of being with that coach, most likely you're going to have enough education, enough information, and you're going to see it yourself, because what we do with our clients is they have to follow a monitoring system. So tell me, guys, when you're with your personal coach or your personal trainer or your nutritional consultant or whoever he is, and they put you on a plan to help you lose body fat or weight, how are you monitoring that you are actually in fat burning? How are you monitoring that you're actually low enough in your carbohydrates in order to be able to lose that belly fat or put you in fat adaptation? How are they educating you what fat adaptation is and what that all means? How are they doing that? Most of them aren't. So you have no idea if you're actually in fat burning, and that's why we use the GKI index monitoring system. How do you think Dr. Thomas Seifield of Boston College was able to figure out how to starve cancer cells? Because he did the same thing, and he was able to monitor the sugar levels of his patients along with ketones. Because, see, these 4 protocols actually will help you produce ketones. Ketones are the key. So you need to understand what ketones. So there's a lot of things you need to understand, but eventually when you do understand and you educate them, you get educated, it is easy to follow. You'll see what I mean once you understand it. And so that's why I'm saying, you know what, instead, you guys are frustrated, there's all these kind of diets, or if you're looking into the Primal or a ketogenic diet and you're intermittent and you want to combine it with intermittent fasting, there's a lot of different protocols out there, but you need to go with somebody that has done a lot of them, that have researched it for years, or actually do it themselves, because they can find it much, much faster. And if you're doing the GKI monitoring system, you are actually going to get into fat adaptation much, much faster. Now, the other thing is that when you get to roadblocks like plateauing, or say can you do intermittent or prolonged fasting too much? Absolutely. I mean, too much of anything is too much. It could be too much. So, like I'm saying, you got to find the protocols that works. So you want to make sure that you're with somebody that can recognize it quickly, that if you're doing intermittent fasting too much, or if you need to do 1 day a week of carb loading, whatever fits your lifestyle or your body, because we're all not the same, guys. And so I'm hoping I didn't confuse you guys. I just want you guys to know that if you hear of anybody, any health professional, any wellness coaches, or any doctors say that primal eating or a ketogenic diet, combining it with intermittent prolonged fasting, combining it with hydrogen-rich water, and exercising, it just didn't work for them, it's because they were doing it wrong. Guys, there is no other lifestyle, or if you want to call it a diet, nothing. There is nothing. Paleo doesn't compare to it. Mediterranean doesn't compare to it. Those low-carb diets that a lot of these health coaches are doing because they're using the low glycemic index doesn't compare to it, because they're missing the most important part of the lifestyle, and that's the actual health benefits that's going to reverse a lot of the issues you have, especially if you have some kind of a medical issue. And the byproduct of this is you're going to lose the body fat. But you need to take your health in your own hands so that you can teach others also about the truth about it. Now, I don't know, some of you guys, you might have seen my game changer diet video that I my take on it. Now, you guys, don't get me wrong. I'm not against plant-based, because I did plant-based for 8 months. Emily and I are still plant-based, but we combine it with carnivore, because now, I mean, what the game changer didn't tell you is that the type of foods we're on are pasture-raised, grass-finished meats and eggs, and our fish are wild caught if we eat it. And we do veggies that are organic, but the water, we have a very strong hydrogen-rich water that we actually take the pesticides and herbicides and other chemicals off of our fruits and vegetables. And we only do fruit moderately, because that's sugar. Okay, that causes your insulin to rise. But in a primal eating, berries moderately won't kick you out of fat burning mode if you do it moderately. See, this is another thing. You got to be taught all this stuff. And so Emily was in the gym the other day and overheard these guys talking about the game changer diet. I'm just throwing this in there just to give you guys an idea of what I'm talking about. But they're saying that the guy was saying, well, I heard that you have to have meat for the protein in order to build muscle mass. And the guy commented and said, well, according to the game changer diet, this is a visual. Look at an ox. I mean, they're strong. Well, okay. What about the apes? They're vegetarians. They're strictly plant-based. And they're strong. See, that's the argument. That's what they're telling people. Look at the ox as an example, and then, look at the ox as an example, and then look at the gorilla as an example. They're all plant-based. Guys, science. This is all science. We don't have an ox's gut. We don't have an ox's digestive system. See, that's what they're leaving out. They're not telling you that the digestive system is in different areas for that different foods. And we don't have an ox's digestive system. We don't have a gorilla's digestive system. But they forgot to say that. What kind of a digestive system do we have? Well, we have a human's, which is a combination of carnivore and plant-based. But see, back in the ancient days, they didn't have to worry about contamination or hormones or antibiotics or toxic chemicals or GMO. They didn't have to worry about that stuff, okay? And so, but we do. And so they don't, you have to look at, okay, I need to clean up the types of foods that I'm eating and make it more healthier. So guys, Emily and I have two programs we offer. We have the one-on-one personal coaching that we're doing here at a gym, the Marietta Temecula. I also have an online personal coaching. So if you guys are interested and you want to become an expert at what I was just talking about and learn about the 4 protocols that are scientifically designed to keep you into fat burning for the rest of your life. And guys, what's cool about these 4 protocols is you can even enjoy your comfort foods with your families during the holidays, and you don't not ever have to worry about gaining fat. Okay, you're not going to feel very good once you get fat adapted, but you can still enjoy them. You know, we still do. Okay, I don't as often, but my wife does. She gets to have her pie every so often, or her fries, or the starchy fries. But you can, because it's designed to do the protocols are designed so you don't fail, and the protocols are designed to get the results if you do it right, and pretty easily pretty simple. I mean, it's pretty quickly if you do it right. If you follow them to the T at first, that's the key to get to your results. Then you can start adding whatever you want to. So guys, like I said, message me. I will send you the information on the 2 programs that we have. I'll even take you a tour on the gym that I'm at the Marietta area, so you can see what that gym looks like. It's a private gym, guys. And so I know a lot of clients I've worked with in the past who felt uncomfortable being in the public gym. You don't have to worry about that. This is a private gym, judging. Everybody's in there for a reason. And so that's why I like it, and that's why we want to go there. So guys, hope you guys are going to have a great day. I hope you saw some value in this, and I really, really want you guys to understand that please don't let anybody tell you that the primal eating or the ketogenic diet, combining it with intermittent and prolonged fasting, hydrating with molecular hydrogen H2, and exercising didn't work for them. If they do say that, and the doctors say, well, yeah, I have clients that have done it and they failed, now I'm putting them on this diet. You guys, they're wrong. They did it wrong. They weren't educated right, and they didn't follow the GKI monitoring system long enough. Most of them quit too soon because they think it's a quick fix, and it's not. It takes time. You guys have been a carboholic. You guys have been eating high carb, starchy foods for decades. You may have a fatty liver. It's going to slow. You got to get all that stuff fixed first. You got to get the hormones that are causing you to overeat. You got to get those to come down to base. You got to do all that stuff. It takes time. It just doesn't happen overnight. Okay, guys? You guys have a great day, and I'm hoping I can do my next video in the gym itself. So we'll see you guys we'll see you the next time around. Have a great holiday, everybody. And yes, we're going to enjoy some of the comfort food. So myself, I'm not going to have the sugar because it affects me now that I'm so fat adapted that I don't even want it. But anyway, you guys have a great day. We'll see you guys next time around.